microphone. Thank you.
Last season, you needed a miracle to get through the group stage when you went to Barcelona. Your last group stage match this time round is going to be in the Allianz Arena. How important does this make tomorrow and the other two home games you've got to get as near to 9 points as possible at home?
I think looking like... Sorry. No, much better. Since last season, I think we all signed the same campaign in Champions League. Hope to win tomorrow and to be in a better position than last season. Last season, after 3 games, only 1 point. No one believed in us. And look, after we got the final of the Champions League. That is why in football, of course it's important, but it's not how you start, if not how you finish. That is why in a long season, you need to be calm, you need to be strong in your mentality. You need to know that the periods maybe are not as good as you expect in some period, but the most important is the belief, the most important is the spirit. Of course, that many things can affect that day by day on the club or on the team, but on the end, to have clear idea who we are, where we are, and where we want to arrive is the most important, and I stick with that and working hard, that is the most important.
Carrie? Yep.
Mauricio, the same question I asked to Jan, really to you. Is it important now that this team reshape that defeat and to
What
see...
What means reshape?
Change.
Change what?
Change, it seems when you talk to yourself, to players, that there's just disappointment that you lost the Champions League final, rather than the outside perception of Tottenham now as finalists of the Champions League. Some of the reasons Tanguy Ndombele says that's why he came to the club, partly conversations with you and the fact you reached the Champions League final. But it doesn't feel like that's the situation in the dressing room. Is that fair?
No, the problem that it's normal to talk when you don't get the result that everyone expects because of the perception of because we were in the last season in the Champions League final. I think all expect to keep showing the same level of, but when you analyze the last 4 or 5 months on the competition, Premier League or different things, it's so clear that, of course, we need to, every single season, to evolve, and the evolution need to be through not only the new ideas or the new way to motivate the player from the coaching staff, to try to do something different. Of course, that is every season that we try to do, and we are the first that we review in the way that we work, and that is normal. Last season we used different system. Now we are using different system, new methodology. Always we include every single season to try to make more attractive to the player, to be motivated, to training and everything. In that very professional environment, we are talking about to motivate. Come on, it's in football, it's most important is to go and play with the football. You must be motivated alone, but in all the structure, you are thinking always in improving, and in the way that we work, always is about to improve. But that is a question that don't have answer. Is only the answer is in the structure here on the club. The club will believe or think that need to change things, is going to change things. The club. That is why the most important thing that no stuck on the time and no or stop the evolution of all the structure. You need to think always ahead, and you need to anticipate the things, and that is in football that sometimes is so difficult to fight with that, with the perception, with everything. Anticipate is the most important, and when you stop to anticipate things, can happen what can happen. But I am, like we were talking before, the question, I'm so happy with the squad. I think we are in a position that all is possible, and I think we have a great squad, big squad, good player, and there's no point to talk about that. It's point to try to help them to performance in the way that we expect.
Okay, take a question from Alistair right here.
Thank you.
Mauricio, can I just ask you about Moussa Sissoko signed a brand new deal just the other day. Just wondered kind of your thoughts on obviously how far he's come from a player maybe that some thought might have left the club a couple of seasons ago, and now he's signing a new deal. And also just secondly, whether that represents a bit of a change at Tottenham to hand a player in his 30s a new quite long-term deal.
Yeah, but that is, I think, was a deal in between the club and the player, and of course, I think I don't need to talk too much. It's a decision from the club and from the player to extend the contract.
Okay, take a question from Dan here.
Just on Moussa, Mauricio, he played right back for the last hour against Southampton on Saturday. Is that something you could see him doing again this season, or a bit more of?
Yes, it's one of the possibilities. But in last season or the season before, I remember in Wembley some game to finish like this. If you remember last season against Barcelona on the Champions League game, the last I think 15-20 minutes he played in that position. It's not new, It's not new. You need to make memory only to remember that he was playing in that position on the past.
Okay, take a question from Roger down the front here.
Hi, Mauricio. Can I ask about Hugo Lloris, an error for a goal at the weekend? Do you change your approach to the game when you see something like that, or do you continue to encourage the team to play from the back like that?
That's a situation that happens in football. But the philosophy and the ideas are bigger than from one mistake to change everything, or from one action you are going to change your ideas, and I think it's no point. And of course, that situation happened. That happened when the striker miss a goal, or when some player miss a penalty or miss a pass. That is the same type of mistake that happened, and under my opinion and judgment is the same. Can cost a goal, can cost no score a goal, but that is football. Can happen. It's an action that we forget, and the player and Hugo forget now. Let's move on.
Because we saw a mistake by a goalkeeper at Sheffield United, and the manager was quite critical of his goalkeeper. And he said he needs to do better. What's your approach when a goalkeeper or a player makes such a high-profile error? Do you just move on, or do you take him to one side and check that he's okay?
I think you saw my reaction and my approach. Football is about mistakes. And I don't want to say nothing because I don't want that you compare with another manager or with another action of a different club or different coaching staff. More than write my words. For me, football is about mistakes. And you are not going never to stop the mistakes. You can train, you can show, because football and all the... For me, that I was a professional footballer, what means to be on the pitch, only he was there, knows what means to be professional and play under this stress and pressure. And that is why I understand completely when some player cannot be as good as you expect. And this type of situation happened on the past, happened in the present, and it's going to happen. No one is going to stop this type of situation because our circumstance that you are not going to change in football. I'm never going to talk about that. I'll always allow I say to them, I allowed you to make the mistake because it means that you are trying to do. When you not try, it's impossible to make the mistake. If you don't make the mistake, you are not too much involved on the game. That is the difference how we assess the game or the players or the performance.
Okay, take a question there, then we'll finish with Charlie and George, okay?
Mauricio, what do you think of the team's current form?
Sorry.
And have the targets changed since the beginning of the season?
Yes, I think you know, for different reasons. We are all responsible to create a feeling that wasn't the best to start. But I think I need to remember you, because before you asked Jean Bertogen, I think when the transfer window closed, I was very clear that all the players were commitment to give their best. I didn't talk after that we have different interests, or we were thinking, or we were affecting today or after Colchester because of we are not thinking on the team. Like every single season happened from now my 6th season that they start, always was the same. Always was the same. Different things happen in summer, but not only in Tottenham, in all the clubs. But it's no doubt that the players are very commitment with 1-year contract or with 5-year contract. And that is not a point to discuss, and it's not excuse for the team to have or to will have a good result or no good result.
Okay, Charlie, and then finish with George. Charlie.
It was mentioned there about Sissoko filling in at right back, and obviously Aurier got sent off earlier in the game. Has it been a concern that no one yet has fully nailed down that right back position this season?
I think like in the previous season, the competition. If you go back to my first season, do you know who was my first right back? No.
Norton?
Yes. Dyer finished because was sent off Kyle Naughton, and he scored on the last minute. But in this season play, Kyle Naughton, Eric Dyer, Vladimir Chirichis, and on the end play Kyle Walker that was injured. 4 different players, and maybe I forget someone more. But you know, if you analyze, all my single season were similar to this season. Now it's Kyle Walker, Pita, Serge Aurier, Davinson, or now in this type of circus, unlike Saturday, was Musa playing there, finish the last hour, no, in the game. But we were working always in a similar circumstance. It's not going to change this season. That is why I am very optimistic and very positive. That is not new for us. Only for the club is news. It's new, like you said before to Shan. 5 years or 7 years ago, he was playing again Panathinaikos, I don't know, in Europa League. But in the last 4 seasons in a row, or 4 years in a row, playing Champions League and playing Barcelona, Inter, Bayern Munich, or Real Madrid, or Manchester City, or you know, that changed a lot. And this type of circumstance that changed a lot for the club. But my circumstance, sports circumstance, didn't change from 5 years ago to today.
Okay, pass the question to George for the last one. Thank you.
Mauricio, hello. I just wondered what your thoughts on Jan said about him being very young and still want to play at the top level. Are you open to him staying next season?
What? Yeah, I am open to everything. But that is like I told before about Moussa Sissoko. That is a dealing between the club and him, and of course he's Asian, and it's not. You see what happened, because always is 2 different parties in all the deal. But of course that Shan, I think after 5 years that we are all together, and that is going to be our 6th season, always was an important part of my project and my decision in football. And that feeling is not going to change.
And just a quick one on Bayern Munich. Where do you see them? They could win the tournament. Do you think they're one of the favourites?
Today?
Bayern Munich, yeah.
If Bayern Munich can win
the Champions League.
In the history of course, the Champions League, they are a club that every season try to prepare. They prepare themselves to try to win the competition, the Champions League, because the history say that. I think it's a great club, great players, of course, amazing coaching staff. I know very well. We play the Audi Cup and we share many time together. I think it's a club. historic that can be one of the contenders for sure to win the Champions League.
Okay, guys, thank you very much.